And right here, we're live here at the John Harris Museum right here. Walking in. I don't know how good you can see this. It's a little dark, but I'm going to brighten this up and get the good quality of everything. The second time I used my GoPro 360. Looks a lot nicer here in the light. Good old John Harris Museum, the founder of Harrisburg. $20 for one of those. Oh yeah, nice, very nice chandeliers. Chandeliers. Oh, that's some really nice Tupperware they got here. I got the same camera we got. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit here. Turn brightness up. Should be able to talk to it, but guess you can't be changing stuff when you're videoing. Got a tour of this first when I was in 4th grade. Oh, these marshmallows are looking good. Nice white Tesla out there. I wonder whose that is. Here's a kitchen sink. Here's a plan of that borough of Harrisburg. They planned out the city.
Good day, sir.
Good day. So you, John Harris yourself?
I am, sir. Yes, welcome to the house.
That's how John Harris would talk. I don't know if I heard anything I wasn't supposed to hear, but...
No, you're quite fine. You're quite fine in hearing things. John Harris claimed to be an expert on everything.
So I'm going to get my family maybe tell them John Harris is right here.
Wonderful,
But
yes,
so how many siblings do you have, John Harris?
So siblings, well, I have 2 older sisters, and I have 3 younger brothers.
You must not have been too close with them because you're stuttering a little bit. Yeah, think about it.
Well, so my sisters are both married by the time I'm an adult.
Right?
So they're married and out of the house. And my younger brothers, well, I'm in charge because my father had passed on.
Well, you almost sound like talking in third person. You're almost talking like you sound like you're talking in third person because you said your older siblings have passed on by the time you were an adult. But and you said your father, but you mean my father? You mean my father?
Well, yes, my father had passed on their father. My father had passed on in 48, and my sisters got married, and so they were out of the house.
So how old are you right now in 2023?
Right, that's a great question. So my age would be 297.
You look real good for your age.
Thank you, sir.
297. I'm gonna get
Thank you, sir.
I want to keep talking to you. You're very
Yeah.
good. I don't know if you consider yourself like an actor or you like I guess you're the real man. 297. You said,
Right.
but anyways, but though that's all the money tips people gave you today, right?
Well, there's a book for sale that is being sold here, and so they're leaving the money for the book.
So you wrote the book yourself then?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to get my, so 297, John Harris. Yeah, so when my dad grew up here, your dad, John Harris himself, come here, 297 years old. I'm not even joking. Here, he wrote this book, I think. This is an autobiography, sir.
Well, in some respects, yes, it would be an autobiography. Yes.
Here. So it sounded like you were like yelling at those people, like you said. I heard you.
Good day, sir. Yes, good day.
So was John Harris sort of a mean guy, like?
Well, no, I would say he was very much to the point.
But though I thought I don't know if I heard though you said to them I think John Harris said he would kill their family or something or
Well, what
I heard.
What we know.
What
is
I
that
overheard.
The people the people who are ruthless will do whatever it takes, and if they can't make their way toward you, they will then turn to your family members to try to win the day.
Like the mafia.
Yes. At one point in time, I guess in history, yes, you would call them. In my day, it's the natives, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I was speaking with someone about the people, the Jewish people in Israel,
Yeah.
and how children oftentimes get in the crossfire. On purpose.
oh to use them as like shields to you.
Down?
I'm sorry, sir?
They closed the governor's
They
mansion.
did, sir, yes. There was
Ah.
a protest today of some kind, yeah.
You would think
Close it? Okay.
you would think though
Yes,
That
they
would
closed it
probably
today.
why.
you would think you would since you're the guy who founded the city, John Harris, you would have to say like the governor should be answering to you.
Well, I do speak to the governor quite often, now that you mention it, yes.
But though back when you were
Didn't John Harris?
this is a real guy, Mom.
Don't interrupt and do that.
Owned do you mean the Delaware River?
No, Delaware State.
River Basin, where Delaware is. That was part of Pennsylvania at one time.
Oh, yes, it was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, I don't know of having any ownership to that, but I know that my father got a grant from William Penn to come out here on the Susquehanna River.
Right.
Yes, but not the Delaware, no.
No.
It may have
no.
been someone different, yes.
So
No,
you
but I thought I heard that he was beneficial in having Delaware made a state.
Oh, well, in fact, he was part of the assembly down
Yeah.
in Philadelphia that made that possible. That's correct, yes.
Yeah, that's-
He was part of the General Assembly that did that, yes.
because my dad also said Delaware was part of Pennsylvania. Like Pennsylvania used to be a lot bigger, but yeah. Well,
That's correct. Yeah, quite true. Yes, Mr. Benjamin Rush was a Delawarean from Delaware, and served on the Pennsylvania Continental Congress. Right. So yes, Delaware and Pennsylvania were uniquely connected in that way, and at one point we decided to separate the two.
Right, yeah.
Completely. Yes.
so I know you're 297. You said so. I guess you're probably losing some of your memory a little bit. But do you know how Pennsylvania got its name? It's not after. There's no one named Penn, I don't think, or like William Penn, but yeah, it's because it was a Penn's Woods. It was old woods, but the William Penn though, did he found anything, or was he an important guy back then? Was it William Penn
Oh,
or?
well, heavens, yes, William Penn is a rather, as well as his two sons. Yes, the legacy continues on through his two sons. He's a rather important individual.
But though you and your dad were like pretty had a lot of money, like you were born with the silver spoon, Mr. Harris,
so my
right?
father came to America with 16 shillings in his pocket. Not a whole lot.
Ah.
A lot.
No.
But-
He came from Yorkshire, England, and moved. Yeah, he migrated here to Philadelphia and then made his fortune here on the frontier. When he passed in 1748, all of his goods came to me as his oldest son.
Well, did he ever tell you about walking around your grave?
Oh,
My father's grave.
Yeah.
Yes, just over here.
I was thinking we always thought that was your
Yes, John
grave.
Harris Senior, yes.
Yeah.
ah, senior.
Did he ever tell you the story?
I know, I didn't
My
tell him that.
grandpa lived in Chateau.
Okay.
And he always told us the story when we were kids, that if you walk around your grandpa's grave 3 times
Oh.
and ask him, what did I ever do to you?
Yeah.
He says, none.
Because you don't get the joke. You should try it one day. Walk around and see. He'll tell you you didn't do anything to him.
Oh,
But
right.
because he won't say anything. But though you look good. So did I was wondering with all I guess we can go back and forth like joking like your girlfriend. But anyways in real. But though did when you were younger, I don't know if you just have this as a prop here, like you smoke, but when you did smoking a pipe ever affect John Harris's liver or like health or anything?
Well, we don't know that it. I don't know that it ever affected my health whatsoever. No, I never felt any effects from it. Let's say it that way.
But yeah, well, because back then they didn't think like doctors advertised it was a good thing.
Well, yes, smoking is good for the Constitution, right? It calms you down. Yeah.
I hear that, Dad.
Yeah.
But my dad.
He smoked a pipe, and the pipe weren't near as bad as cigarettes.
That I don't know. I have not heard word that it's reopened.
I was curious if it was open at some point in the day.
It was open, and they actually had to escort people out.
Ah.
Yes, right. Yes. So it was open at one point during the day.
Yeah, it was, because we loved going there.
Yes.
So in other words, it was open during the day a little bit.
It was earlier at the beginning of the tour. It was open, and then they ended up closing it because
Yeah,
of
we saw,
process.
we just happened to see it, we were driving.
Oh,
It
okay.
See them all
was
come through.
so many
Oh,
people.
wow. Really?
Oh, it was
Oh,
over
wow.
500 people.
Oh my!
We sat,
Oh my goodness!
a lot of people. But like, they weren't out of control.
They went, no.
Yeah, no.
They were all walking. I think they walked, from what I gather, they probably walked from the Capitol to the governor's mansion. And maybe as they were getting closer, I think there was a police car in front.
Yeah, and back,
Trying
two and
slow
back.
them down a little, maybe.
Maybe.
But
Okay.
they weren't rapping.
They weren't, I mean, no, but I get why they closed. I do get why they closed, but we were curious if they opened at all.
I haven't heard that they reopened
Yeah,
at all.
I don't think they will now because it's over.
And it's all late.
But I said if I wouldn't
But
have
Dad,
been
he
open,
said they
but
did-
that guy was
They
there.
did.
Well, they had it open
They had to escort
because there
people
were
out.
people there.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
they do that.
Right.
It was beautiful always, they said.
Because when we went to go get in,
A lot of
all
high
the gates were
schools,
shut.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And they were supposed to have
they
performances.
had like
Right.
four,
Yeah.
4 state trooper cars across in the parking lot there by the, what is
Yeah.
it? What's
It's
it?
the one governor's closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So though, Mr. Harris, I was wondering, did you build this building here yourself, or
Yes.
you had? Oh, and then
Well,
also,
I had 2 contractors and a lot of workers.
then very good question. I remember when I was here in 4th grade, I think 4th but anyways, we got a tour of this place, and we all asked questions, and the parents were asked questions. The tour guide, she said this button was then to call for the slaves. Like it was just sort of like a button used like if you're in an apartment and the person knocks on the front door and they have hit the push the button.
Yes.
But you had I know it's a very controversial topic, but it is history.
Yes.
But though did you so the original John Harris, I know you're the good guy.
Yes, sir.
But so do you ever do TV like acting, or do you? I was wondering how do you get into this like dressing up as John Harris?
Well, what a great question. So I started out as a reenactor with a reenacting group, and then found myself wanting to do something more first-person interpretation. As a reenactor, I had been on set on several films, and so kind of like the idea.
Yeah, well, you make more money, I guess.
Yeah. HBO's John Adams. I was in several movies like that as an extra, just in the background.
yeah.
Right. And so I kind of liked the idea and pursued it with the Dauphin County Historical Society, and they loved the idea too.
But though HBO's John Adams, isn't that like really new and it's still going on, or
It is,
like?
it's still available. You can still see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's what that.
But though, anyways, just back to like the serious history.
Yeah.
Though there was slaves like on this property, like
correct.
because I always make it like sort of proud that Pennsylvania isn't a slave state. Like we were the one of the good states back during the Civil War that we fought against the South. And Pennsylvania was, I guess, like the Mason-Dixon line. I always think is like Maryland a slave state or what? But anyways, Maryland is a slave state, like Maryland, Virginia, and the Mason-Dixon line. But
Harvard.
I had the most slaves, but in the White House, what? But the anyways, here's real quick. I remember I met this one lady at this weightlifting competition. She's like, "Oh, I'm from the South," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. What state you from?" She goes, "North Carolina," and that's what just I had to laugh in my head. I'm like, "You're gonna brag you're from the South, and then say you're from North Carolina? Like at least try and say you're from Louisiana, Florida." I'm thinking like deep South, like they're like people brag from the,
That's South.
but yeah, North. But
It can be deep South.
well,
But there are slaves in Pennsylvania though. Even
well,
though,
the worst part of the South, I guess, the deep South, is
made the decision not to have slavery.
Well, in 1780, Pennsylvania adopts what's called the Manumission Act, the Gradual Manumission Act of all slaves, black, mulatto, whatever it might be. And that meant that eventually, if you were in slavery, you would eventually be released over time.
Yeah.
And they had a calculation of how long it would take for you to be released. And usually it was by the time you were 27 years old. So Pennsylvania is the first state that adopts a Manumission Act like that in 1780. So, in like you say, Pennsylvania strives to not be a slave state, but there are slaves here in Pennsylvania. Now, the last slave in Pennsylvania is released not until 1842. So it takes that long from 1780 to 1842 for the gradual manumission of all slaves to be finalized. So by the time we get to the Civil War, there's no slavery in Pennsylvania. You're right. It's not a slave state.
well, was there any? I guess
It's a free state, but it starts out as a slave state, as
Yeah.
most states do. Well, it starts out as a slave colony because British colonies are involved in the slave trade. Yeah.
Well, if you have that many slaves, to release them all at one
Oh, you
time,
can. Right. Right.
you'd have pandemonium.
You would. You're right.
Yeah.
And they don't have status. They don't have position.
They didn't know how to-
can't own businesses.
Yeah.
You know, they cannot be independent in that respect. So somebody like John Harris takes the best care of them he can.
Uh-huh.
He looks after them, and then in his last will and testament in 1791, he sets aside money for each one of them to be cared for, and he releases several of them immediately with an amount of money so that they can exist.
Self-sufficient,
Right?
somewhat.
Yeah, exactly. So he looks after them and takes care of them in his last days. Right. Yeah. So does Washington. So does Jefferson. They all do that kind of thing. It's a kind of a gradual move because you're right. You can't just say, well, okay, they're all free now. That doesn't work.
Well, that's what they did after the war, but.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got messy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I would imagine some of them, if they were with him that long and felt loyalty to him, they,
Right.
I'm not going to have them happy here.
Yes, correct.
well, the main reason we came to this one, the house tour, is.
Good day.
But though it's because my dad has never seen this, been in here before. He doesn't think.
good.
But
Well,
though,
I might have been here
Yeah.
before, but I don't remember.
Yes.
but though you usually have like, which do you ever have high schoolers or like fourth graders or?
All the time.
But
Same
though,
groups are through all the time.
but though, how far? Like, what's the farthest they ever come from? Like,
Oh, that's a
out
good
of
question.
Pennsylvania.
I don't know how far they have come from.
When did they put the addition on?
back in the 40s or 800s?
Well, so the back kitchen is done around 1880 because there's a large fireplace back there.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a cook fireplace.
Yeah.
I thought you
It's not
were.
a small little thing
Right.
like this. It's,
Yeah, great big thing
Right.
with the.
Yeah, you can almost with a crane. Yeah, it's got the room for all that. So that was done in the 1880s when Simon Cameron remodels the house.
Then, what a
Did
good
he
question.
live here then?
Simon Cameron did live here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what did you all do, Mr. John Harris, as for like the government? What did you all do for like the government?
Well, I served in assembly and helped the government make decisions.
And then I just remember real quick my last. I haven't been upstairs since fourth grade,
Oh,
but
good.
but
Yeah.
since I remember when I was in fourth grade, I was real excited. I had the wind-up camera, but they told me I can't take pictures of the like picture frames or whatever unless I cover up because it was flash photography.
Oh,
So they didn't want. Is that they still have rules against that, like new flash photography?
No, because digital photography doesn't do any damage.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're in great shape.
Okay, so but though I guess with the wind-up cameras, if someone came with the wind-up camera, you would. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
But
guess
though-
we would have to. Yes, we would have.
But though what I did is I just covered up the flash on my camera. But yeah,
Right.
but though okay, so it's I guess you'll be here till the end though. I guess well today I guess how long what time? Oh, did you guys?
Finish up at 6 o'clock.
Okay. What did you guys have like free cookies or anything out here today? Like
I did not see any. No.
yeah, yeah. Well, I guess you'd be looking a little bigger if you had free cookies. But okay, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, it was good talking to you.
Good day, John.
Okay.
Harris, thank you, sir. You are currently in the original 1766 outfit.
Right here is this statue of possibly John Harrison's wife. Don't quite know 100%, but here's a map coming up of Harrisburg. If you can still see what I see. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Pena, they called it back then. 1881 map right there. I remember this clock here.
Yeah, look at the bathroom.
Where do you go, is all that
Kevin,
on,
look at this. Don't touch anything
I
in the
know.
bathroom.
look all the way still, they still put the tap.
Said to other people, John Harris at your service. He said to other people, John Harris at your service. It's the original 18. Here's all the doors for anyone who likes doors, all different kind of doors, and there's a royal pastel hat and everything. Here's good old Santa Claus, who looked a little different back then. And right here is the bathroom. Look. Yes.
Look at all
I was gonna do a video of it myself. So it, see the light switches are old. And then they go, oh here, see that's what I was telling you about. Come here, look. See, guess what this thing's for? Come here, guess what this is for? Come here, this doorbell. It's like a doorbell. Guess what this is for? It's for slaves. Oh, they said servants. But yeah. Okay, so that's like it's not as bad as.
Well, there were small people back then.
Well, oh no, I didn't. I was gonna say it's not as bad as what's his name's bed. Abraham Lincoln. So whoever stopped the Civil War in Gettysburg. Right here is John Harris's shower. Then right here is very expensive back in those days to have a shower and a bathtub. Well, a lot of people don't have that even today. John Harris had it all. Very born with a silver spoon. And right here, his bed wasn't that comfy though. It was a smaller person. Here's all the stuff, and he set this up right here himself, Mr. John Harris. And going on through right here, he had a cane, 2 canes. He'd use a different one for different celebrations. Right here is, oh man. Yeah, right there is connecting camera. 22 minutes.
Mom just said that.
3 or 4,000.
Oh my God,
More than that.
yeah.
What? 3 or 4
You
thousand.
tell one is in there.
What's 3 or 4,000?
That's how you
Dresser.
This.
Not that big, not that many drawers.
Right, I used to see that.
You mean Baba bought you one like that?
It's funny.
a Harris family tea box. And right here is the plan on moving in, having me move in with them. Harris Family Antique.
Oh, you did? Twist.
I didn't see it. No, it just twisted halfway up.
Maybe that is the one we came up.
I didn't see a spiral.
That's it, what I meant.
Yeah.
Because did we come up now, what's down there?
You can walk down. There's
Yeah,
stuff they show.
I think we did.
All right, here is a very nice music box. Looks $90.92. It looks.
Did you guys go down
Yep.
that way yet? We did.
What way?
There's not, we were down there.
Occupancy gets 95 people here on the second floor. Right here's a very nice room with all the antiques. Got a nice Ring camera here. I got in my house too. Yes. Good old John Harris and his boys. It's a weird place to keep a chair on the roof, wall. But that's everyone else. Sometimes I sit up there myself though. And right here is another room with a bunch of Harrison Invincibles, Harrisburg, PA, baby. This is how we do it. Right here is a good President Eisenhower portrait. And right there's a lot of cool stuff. Honest of the West. A lot of really cool. April 4th, 1888.
They have a lot of them.
Oh, they have one City Hall?
We don't send them out
I
to.
remember we went there one year.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was just an apartment in there.
Yes, yes.
It's right over.
Are you ready?
If he is.
We're right here.
Right behind you.
Who's he? Well, I want to say bye to John Harris, maybe.
Go on, and then
We'll
we'll
say
go on.
goodbye to him. We're going
No, I'm good. Okay, please do not.
Too much time to
Hey there, sit on historic furniture. That's very historic. Used to keep stuff in there. Right there's John Harris, another sitting room here. All right here is good old caveman stuff.
They keep it nice.
We try.
Yeah. A lot of work.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It's another music box over here, Dad. See?
Yeah.
It's a
What do
old
they call
one.
them? They're not really music boxes, are they?
We call them music boxes.
Yeah, but I-
They do have a name for them, I think, different. Take a
Cassette.
picture of it and-
That doesn't. I won't. I don't know how I would do that. I thought. But then what's?
Some of them are like photographs and some
Yeah.
are, yeah, they might have different names.
That one there, I think you can put different discs
Yes.
in. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the one on the top of the stairs, like right where you go down without
That just
the music box. Or,
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is it actually not?
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That one used to be fully operated.
The one upstairs?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
You need to know the history. All right, well, we'll see you then. Thanks. Yep, thank you. You too, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Oh, we're good.
Hey, there's.
Oh, you're here as well.
Are you ready?
And it looks like we're heading on out.
Dan asked if there were cookies here, I said nope.
And John Harris said he didn't see any either.
Oh, yeah, well, we were talking about.
Oh.
Oh, I know. It's a shame.
Shut this off.